Just because you take home a paycheck does not automatically make you a protector and a provider of your family. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. And today I want to go into a few things that are preventing you from really leveling up your life. And most men out there think somehow that just because they go to work, that they work hard, that automatically they are the king of the household. They're protectors, they're providers, when really they're not. If you interview their wives on the side, you're automatically going to see that they're going to tell you something very, very weird, right? They're going to look at you and they're going to say, yeah, my husband, sure, he works hard, but he really doesn't lead. He really doesn't step up. He doesn't have the backbone that a man should have. And it's typically because somehow along the way, he forgot how to be a man. So today I want to go over a few things that are going to help you really build out your life, give yourself an opportunity to have a stronger relationship, not just with your wife, but maybe with your children. Also helping you be a stronger version of yourself in your job place, or for them, or if you own a business or whatever, hey, that's where we're going to go. So I wrote some things down here today that are critical. Okay. And look, one of the things that I want to make sure you understand, all these YouTube videos, none of them are super structured. I have some ideas and then I talk from the heart. So I'm not trying to come at you in a way that is like a robot. I want you to try to resonate with this and know that when I speak to you, there's meaning behind it. Most of it is through experience, and I've had the opportunity really to coach thousands of men, and really through their experience also. That's how I learn, right? Because it's there and it's real. So earning a paycheck, yes, you must go out there. You must hunt. You must provide. That is rule number one. But if you're doing it and then all of a sudden thinking that automatically that is your sole responsibility, you don't have any other responsibilities in your house, in your family world, well, that becomes a problem. Ask your kids and ask your wife. So let's talk a little bit about discipline. It's hard. It's really hard to keep. For me, discipline is not just trying to get better because of it, but it's also a way of life. As a man, you need to understand that you are guided by these disciplines, these certain sets of rules that you set out for yourself. And these sets of rules, they're not something that you make up, right? It's something that you know you need in your life. So for example, waking up early in the morning, beating the sun, right? That's important because you know very well that once you are up late, you lose the day. Anybody and everybody that I've ever talked to tells me the same thing. And I'm a big believer that you must beat the sun. So start getting up earlier. I don't care if you just put your alarm clock 15 minutes earlier every week and then work your way down, but you have to wake up earlier. When you wake up, what do? Think about that. So typically it's, hey, I'm going to go take a shower, drink some coffee, maybe scroll through my Instagram, catch up on some emails, and then drive off to work. I want you to start rewiring your brain just a little bit because for me, I'll tell you, it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot when I started to see things just a little bit different, from different lens. And I want you to start slowly changing the way you think. So discipline, when you wake up in the morning, that's part of discipline, right? Beat the sun. What you do next is critical. I like to spend time with myself, meaning I give grace. I put my 2 feet on the ground. The next thing is I take a cold shower. I do my meditation. I walk to the gym. I work out. I come home and I quickly take a shower and I'm out, right? But it's a little bit deeper than that. Where are you going to put the clothes that you have ready the night before, because that's important to me, right? When you're looking at me and saying, hey, what do you mean the clothes the night before? Guess what? Yeah, the clothes that you select the night before is going to save you at least 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. So why not do it in the evening when you're retired and you have time in your hands? Okay, so let's go. Pick out your shorts, your t-shirt, sneakers, put it in an area. Then pick out what you're going to wear that day, whether you're going to wear jeans, a shirt, a suit, whatever it is, your tie, set it up. Now you are ready to go. When you wake up in the morning, you do what you have to do. When you come home, you shower. The next thing you know is, I'm ready. I don't have decision fatigue at 6:30 in the morning. That's the last thing that you want to do. So discipline already starts winning the day for you just by adding these basic principles. That's it. So discipline is something that you must have in your life. And remember, you're not always going to love it. But you know, if you do it, it's damn good for you. That's my definition. All right, let's talk a little bit about presence. Okay, when you walk into your home, you should have presence. That's it. Your kids, your family, your girlfriend, your fiance, whatever it is, there should be a presence about you. She should be happy that you are home. And if you have your environment set up properly, like any man should, right? Your woman, she is the homemaker. She is the peacemaker, right? She's the nurturer of the family. So when you get home, she's there. She greets you. Your kids greet you. I mean, I don't know about you, but that makes me feel great. It makes me feel like I'm going somewhere. And when I'm there, there's just, when I'm going home, right? And when I'm there, it's just powerful. I enter and it's like, wow, people are actually happy to see me. So the same type of mindset you should have going into a boardroom, right? Think about it. When you command that boardroom, people are going to respect you. Maybe not so happy to see you, right? But they're going to respect you because you're walking in and you have a certain sense of presence about you. And then, you go into a networking event, you own the room, right? When you walk in, and I say this very often, the type of man who is a high-level man doesn't really need to say a word. He walks in and he owns the room. People look, there's a certain vibration that happens when you walk in. So how do you build this presence? Hey guys, we'll get back to the video here. I want to introduce Man of War Elite Performance. It took us almost 2 years to develop this. We've been testing it over and over again, and we believe we have an amazing product here. First off, the EAA for recovery, the best of the best. We have a tremendous amount of Aquamin, 3 times the closest competitor. If you don't know what Aquamin is, research it. It's a great recovery tool. Also, here we have creatine. A lot of junk out there. A lot of junk. Protein. You want to talk about best tasting protein? It took us 16 different times to work out the flavor in this and make it the cleanest possible. This is a chocolate flavor, the best chocolate flavor that I've ever had, and I think that you will ever have. This is 24 grams of protein per scoop, and it's a very, very clean tasting protein. We'd love for you to purchase this, try it out, and let me know. One of the most important ways that you can build your presence is first and foremost by being mentally strong, because that builds confidence and it'll help you in the way you walk and the way you interact. Being physically fit, it helps the clothes look good on you. People know that if you take care of your body, most likely you're going to take care of your mind. A great thing that everybody should do is read books. Read. Get knowledge. Think about that. The more you read, the more knowledgeable you get. At least you're supposed to. So that also gives you that vibe, that swag, right? Because when you walk into a room, you know that you're damn smart. You know a little bit about everything. You could strike up conversations about anything with everybody. So with this sense of security, of assuredness, right? With that swagger you have, That's how you build up that presence. All right, decision making. Most men, and I hate to say this, but they get decision fatigue, as I stated earlier, early in the morning. They've already made 5, 6, 7, 8 decisions, and they get tired, man. By the time 2, 3, 4 o'clock comes, they get tired. So how do we avoid that, right? Well, how do we avoid that decision-making fatigue? Well, first and foremost, I think that you should get around people who make critical decisions for a living, bigger than yours. See how they operate. See how they snap into it. I'm a big believer, and I've said this before many times, and I've had several mentors say this to me many, many times. Billionaires, high-level individuals, make decisions. They actually make them, and they figure out later how to fix them. Most men will sit there and just ponder and just procrastinate. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to be quick in our decision making. We want that sense of quickness, because the quicker you can do it, the quicker that you can move on to the next thing. And you're not sitting in this hot seat for hours and hours and hours. I know people really that have, my gosh, I can go back in time. I know so many people that will take weeks and weeks to make one decision. Think about that. Weeks. Well, I know billionaires that will make decisions in 3 minutes flat. And again, these individuals who operate at that level, they worry about fixing it down the road. Tweak it, evolve, change, right? You pivot on the fly. So decision making should not be something that is slow. As a matter of fact, I believe that it should be on the fast side. Be a better, fast decision maker. That's going to help you build your confidence. It's going to help you just be stronger across almost every front of your life. All right, finally, I'm going to dive into physical preparedness. And we can go deep here. Okay, but I don't want to bore you with too much of it. Look, you got to be physically fit. Fine. Let's move on from that. How are you prepared physically? Are you capable of enduring a fight? Do you know how to defend yourself? Do you know how to use an edge weapon? So watch this, right? I carry my knife with me pretty much everywhere I go. Boom, comes out, right? I know for a fact with this particular knife that if I have to deploy it, I'll deploy it and I'll freaking use it if I have to, right? And the goal here is, hey, you're physically prepared. I know that I can draw my gun very, very fast. I know that if I have to go to the ground, I can wrestle and I can tangle it up with the best. I know that if I need to trade punches, I'm going to hang in there. I got to trade kicks, I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to fight, and you're going to have to kill me to win because I'm not going to give up. To defend myself and my family, that's the attitude that I have. But most of you, a lot of you, don't have that same attitude. You think that nothing is ever going to happen to you. Somehow because you are really, really fit, all of a sudden, like someone's not going to walk up to you and knock your teeth in. Yeah, they will. They will absolutely knock your teeth in because you may not be prepared, battle ready. So for you to get to a level where you are battle ready, you have to learn some of the crafts. You got to go out there, take boxing, martial arts, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, aikido, whatever you want to do. But that's important because I believe that every man at some point in his life should compete against another man. And it doesn't have to be to the death, and it doesn't have to be even so violent, but there has to be some type of competition. And again, I've said this a gazillion times. And if you're able to compete against another man, it just gives you a sense of assuredness inside, right? When something goes wrong, because you're not afraid to get pushed and knocked down. You can fight from the ground. You're not afraid if somebody walks up to your face because you know that you could, split their lip with one punch, with one jab. That's the mentality. You're not so afraid if something goes wrong with your family and you're at a movie theater or a church or a mall. You can whip out your gun and you could draw down and you know that you can hit someone at 12, 15 yards if you have to, because you go to the range and you practice. All these things are important in your life. Very important for you to grow and to continue building who you are. So, we started saying, and I'm going to review this a little bit so we won't get lost here. All right, discipline is key in your life. For everything you do, that's where it all starts. Discipline in your life. The presence when you walk into a room, when you command that presence, when you command that respect, that is golden right there. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able ever to lead your family. Right? And here we go. Decision making. Most men have decision making fatigue. So many men lose their momentum after they have made decision after decision. So the next thing is procrastination and second guessing themselves. So stop that. Don't get there. Avoid decision fatigue at all costs. And then, of course, finally is physical preparedness. Are you ready for war? Are you ready to protect your family? Are you ready to step up? When that bell rings and it's your name that's being called, are you ready to protect your family? You have to be honest with yourself. Most are not. All right, guys, listen, I'm hoping that you get something out of this. I think that the more you understand the process of becoming a hard target, to become really a man of action, a warrior-minded man in our society, the more you understand the principles, the components that go into this, all I can say is that your life would absolutely 100% change. It would completely change if you just applied some of these key principles into it. With that said, listen, if you enjoy this type of talk, if you enjoy walking the warrior's path, learning the principles of manhood, not only to be just a fighter and a provider, but to be a great businessman, to be a great father, husband, leader, a man of action, a warrior-minded man, this is the channel right here. So if you would, subscribe, share the content, comment. Of course, the idea here is to build this channel to a level where we get so much more traction that we're getting right now. It is important. Because of you, we are here, but I would like to see this grow because we want to touch lives across the world. With that said, until next time, may God bless you.